Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we are going to be tackling Success Secrets by George Tan.
Ooh, Success Secrets.
Yeah, but we're going a little bit deeper than just, kind of those typical self-help tropes.
Okay.
We are really going to dig into the nitty-gritty of what holds people back from achieving those dreams.
Yeah.
And all of this is based on some YouTube summaries that we found on the book.
All right.
So pretty interesting stuff, I think.
Sounds good.
Those fears, those experiences that can feel like such a heavy weight holding us down.
Oh, yeah.
You ever felt that way?
Absolutely. And Tan actually calls these saddles.
Saddles.
Yeah, these influences, these experiences, fears that can really kind of keep us stuck.
Interesting.
And what I think is really fascinating with the book is that he doesn't just point them out.
Right.
But he actually provides a framework for understanding how they develop, but more importantly, how to break free.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, he tells this really compelling story about a guy named Arthur. And Arthur was incredibly talented.
Okay.
But he couldn't hold down a job. He couldn't pursue his dream of moving to the U.S.
Wow.
And what's so fascinating is how Tan really dissects Arthur's saddles.
Okay.
And shows how they stem from these very specific childhood experiences.
Interesting.
Like constant criticism from his father, which led to this crippling self-doubt.
Yeah.
It's like he was wearing this mask of confidence,
right.
But underneath it, all those insecurities were really running the show.
It's so common, though.
Totally.
It's a classic example of how these saddles become so deeply ingrained that we don't even realize they're there.
Yeah.
They're dictating our choices. Have you ever felt like that nagging voice whispering doubts in your ear?
All the time?
That's a saddle trying to keep you in your comfort zone.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So how do we break free from these saddles?
Well, that's a great question.
I'm glad I asked it.
Tan talks about the power of encouragement.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to counteracting negativity.
Now, this is where things get really, really interesting.
I'm ready.
He shares his own experience.
Oh, wow.
Of being mocked.
Oh, no.
For not knowing the alphabet. On his first day of school.
On his first day of school.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Being ridiculed for something so basic?
Yeah.
But then this teacher steps in.
Yeah.
Calls him a strong boy.
Oh, wow.
And that simple act of encouragement completely changed his trajectory.
That's powerful.
Right. Think about the impact that one teacher had on his life.
Yeah.
That single phrase helped him overcome so much negativity and really unlock his potential.
I love that.
It's such a good reminder that we all have the capacity to inspire and to uplift others.
Absolutely.
But it also begs the question, what kind of impact are we having on the people around us?
That's a good point. Our words and actions, even the small ones, they can have a ripple effect.
Totally. But encouragement alone isn't enough, right?
Right. We need a plan. We need a strategy for achieving our goals.
That's where Tan's praise formula comes in.
Praise.
I love a good acronym.
Me too.
So he breaks down success into 6 key elements.
Okay.
Prize, dream rules, analysis, invincibility, strategy, and excellence.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is, but it's really interesting.
Well, I'm ready. Let's start with the first one, prize dream.
All right. So prize dream, this is all about defining your goals, right?
What do you truly desire? What are you passionate about?
Okay.
But it's not just about dreaming big. It's also about setting specific, achievable goals that will move you towards that ultimate dream.
So it's having that big picture vision, but also breaking it down into manageable steps.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so that's prize dream.
That's prize dream.
What about rules?
Rules. This is the second element.
Okay.
And when I first heard rules, I thought, this is about restricting yourself.
Me too.
But it's actually quite the opposite.
Oh.
It's about setting boundaries that empower you.
Okay, like healthy boundaries.
Exactly. So Tan lays out 5 key rules. Be unique, make thoughtful decisions, take charge of your life, never give up on your dreams, and take ownership of your actions.
So it's kind of like setting yourself up for success.
Absolutely. These rules act as guiding principles, helping you stay focused and make choices that align with your goals.
I like that. All right, so we've got our dream defined and we've got these guiding principles in place.
Right.
What's next?
Analysis.
Okay.
This is where we take a good hard look at ourselves.
Oh boy.
It's time for some introspection. What are our strengths and weaknesses?
Okay.
What are our unique talents and skills? But just as importantly, where do we need to improve?
Right. It's like that saying, know thyself.
Exactly. It's about getting real with ourselves,
Yeah.
both the good and the bad.
I think that's so important.
It is, because this self-awareness is crucial for making informed decisions and crafting a strategy that plays to our strengths while addressing our weaknesses.
I love it. So we've set our goals, we've established our rules, we've analyzed our strengths and weaknesses. This is where things start to get really interesting.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
With the fourth element, invincibility.
Invincibility. I like the sound of that.
This is all about cultivating unwavering self-belief,
Oh, I love that.
overcoming those self-doubt gremlins that Tan calls the saddle effect.
The saddle effect. Okay.
And he describes it as 6 mental traps:
Oh, boy.
self-pity, arrogance, distractions, daydreams, laziness, and exaggerated fear.
It sounds like they're lurking around every corner.
I know. It's like they're waiting to sabotage our efforts.
Exactly.
So how do we cultivate this sense of invincibility?
That's the million-dollar question. It's about shifting our mindset, replacing those negative thoughts with positive affirmations. It's about visualizing our success, focusing on our strengths, and developing that resilient attitude that allows us to bounce back from setbacks.
So it's not about being delusional and ignoring challenges,
No, not at all.
but it's about developing that inner confidence to push through them.
Right. It's about recognizing that setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to define us. We have the power to choose how we respond to them.
That's a good point. And that leads perfectly into the next element, strategy.
It's strategy.
Okay, so this is where we take all those insights
Yes.
we've gained from the previous steps
Yeah.
and create a concrete plan of action.
So we're getting specific.
Yeah. It's about breaking down those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Right.
And outlining those specific actions that we need to take.
Yeah,
So it's not just about having a vision, it's about mapping out that path to get there.
exactly. And it's about being flexible, adapting our strategy as needed, and constantly evaluating our progress.
I love it. All right, so we've covered prize dream rules, analysis, invincibility, and strategy.
Right?
What's the final piece of the puzzle?
Excellence.
Excellence.
Yeah. This is about striving for continuous improvement, pushing ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves.
It's about having that growth mindset, right?
Totally. Always seeking to learn and grow and never settling for mediocrity.
I love it. So the praise formula is all about setting clear goals, establishing guiding principles, analyzing our strengths and weaknesses, cultivating that unwavering self-belief, creating a strategic plan of action, and striving for excellence.
It's pretty comprehensive.
It really is. It covers both the internal and the external factors that contribute to success.
It's a reminder that success is not about luck or chance.
Right.
It's about taking deliberate action, cultivating the right mindset, and consistently working towards our goals.
Now, one thing that really struck me about Tan's approach is that he challenges the conventional definition of success.
Oh, interesting. How so?
It's not just about wealth or fame.
Mm-hmm.
He tells this incredibly powerful story about Eugene Kelly,
Okay.
a highly successful CEO who gets diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Wow.
And facing his mortality, he realizes that all that material success in the world means nothing if you haven't prioritized the things that truly matter.
That's a powerful realization.
Yeah. He ends up shifting his focus from work to spending quality time with his loved ones. And it's a beautiful illustration of what Tan calls success unlimited,
Success unlimited.
achieving fulfillment across multiple areas of life,
Yeah.
not just those career achievements.
I love that concept because so often we get caught up in that narrow definition of success.
Totally. Like you have to have the fancy car, the big house, the high-paying job.
Right. And those things can actually become saddles themselves
That's so true.
if they distract us from what truly matters.
So it's about finding that balance between our personal and professional lives
Yeah.
and pursuing goals that bring us genuine fulfillment.
Yes. Not just external validation.
Okay, so that's success unlimited.
Yeah.
And that leads perfectly into another key takeaway from Success Secrets, which is challenging the notion that there's only one path to success.
Oh, tell me more about that.
We often hear about those traditional paths like getting a college degree,
Right.
climbing the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
But Tan argues that those aren't the only ways to achieve greatness.
I like that.
So he uses examples like Bill Gates and Michael Dell, both college dropouts,
Really?
who followed their entrepreneurial passions and revolutionized the tech industry.
Wow.
And their stories highlight the importance of recognizing opportunities, taking calculated risks, and forging our own unique journeys.
It's about having the courage to step outside of those conventional expectations and define success on our own terms.
And that brings us to the final key takeaway
I'm ready.
from Success Secrets. the power of inspiration and determination.
I love it.
Tan uses the life of Benjamin Franklin
Okay.
as a prime example of someone who overcame adversity to achieve greatness.
Benjamin Franklin, what a classic example.
I know, he had limited formal education,
Yeah.
but became one of history's most influential figures.
It's true.
It's a testament to the power of self-directed learning, perseverance,
Right.
and a relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Absolutely.
His story is a reminder that we all have the potential to achieve great things regardless of our circumstances.
It's inspiring.
It is.
Mm.
But what's so powerful is that Tan doesn't just tell these inspiring stories. He challenges us to apply them to our own lives.
Oh, I like that.
So he asks this question: what small step can you take today to move closer to your definition of success?
That's a great question. It's a call to action,
It is.
a reminder that we have the power to shape our own destinies.
We don't have to wait for that perfect moment or the perfect plan or the perfect circumstances.
Right.
We can start right now.
Right where we are.
Exactly, with whatever resources we have.
It's about taking action no matter how small and building momentum towards our goals.
So to recap, Success Secrets offers a powerful framework for achieving our dreams. We've unpacked the concept of saddles,
Yes.
explored the importance of encouragement, delved into that praise formula, challenged traditional definitions of success, and learned from inspiring examples of those who defied the odds.
That's a lot to digest.
It is, but the key takeaway is this: success is not a mystery.
Okay.
It's a process.
I like that.
And by understanding the principles outlined in this book, we can all unlock our potential and create lives that are both fulfilling and meaningful.
So true. I love that. And you know what? We're just getting started.
That's right.
We're going to dive even deeper into Success Secrets after a quick break.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back. And we are back, diving deeper into those success secrets revealed through those YouTube summaries. You know, before the break, we were talking about those small steps towards success.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in dreaming big.
Right.
But real progress happens one step at a time, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
It's those consistent daily actions that really add up over time.
Yeah.
But I think what's often missing is the courage to actually take that first step.
That's where the invincibility element of the praise formula comes in.
Oh, yeah.
It's about silencing those inner critics, those saddle effect gremlins that tell us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready yet.
You know, Tan's description of those famous failures, people like Bill Gates and Michael Dell,
Yeah.
really struck me. These are guys who faced rejection, setbacks, even outright failure, but they kept going.
Yeah.
They didn't let those experiences define them.
And what's fascinating is that they didn't just persevere.
Oh.
They learned from those failures.
Life.
They adapted, they pivoted, they came back stronger.
Okay.
It's a powerful reminder that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone.
It makes you wonder, what if they had given up after the first or second or even 10th setback?
Right.
I mean, we might be living in a very different world today.
That's true. It really highlights the importance of resilience and adaptability.
Totally.
And Tan argues that it's not about avoiding failure altogether,
Right.
because that's impossible.
They're going to fail.
It's about how we respond to it. Do we let it crush us, or do we use it as fuel to propel us forward?
I think that's a really crucial distinction.
Yeah.
It's not about being fearless. It's about developing the courage to keep going even when we are afraid.
Absolutely.
But, it's not just about pushing through challenges blindly.
Right.
It's also about having the wisdom to know when to adjust our approach.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's about being flexible, being willing to experiment, and constantly learning and adapting.
Yeah.
Remember the analysis element of praise.
Yeah.
It's about honestly assessing our strengths and weaknesses and being open to feedback and new information.
It's about having that growth mindset.
Right.
Recognizing that we're not fixed entities, but rather works in progress,
Exactly.
constantly evolving and learning.
And that requires humility.
Yeah.
It means being willing to admit when we're wrong, to seek out guidance from others, and to constantly challenge our own assumptions.
Something we haven't touched on yet is the role of our environment in achieving success.
Oh, yeah.
And Tan emphasizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
He talks about the sunlight of encouragement and the fertile soil of support that we need to thrive.
It's a powerful metaphor.
Isn't it?
It is. Just like a plant needs the right conditions to grow, We need to cultivate an environment that supports our goals and aspirations.
And that means being intentional about the people we spend time with, the information we consume, and the spaces we inhabit.
And sometimes it even means letting go of relationships or situations that are no longer serving us.
It can be tough, but it's essential for creating space for positive growth. It's like pruning a tree. You have to cut away the dead branches to allow the healthy ones to flourish.
I love that analogy.
It's a good one.
It's a reminder that growth often requires us to make those difficult choices, to let go of what's no longer serving us, even if it's painful in the short term.
And I think that's where Success Secrets really resonates. It's not just about achieving some external measure of success. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
Aligning our actions with our values,
Yes.
pursuing goals that bring us joy and a sense of purpose.
And that's something that looks different for everyone. There's no one-size-fits-all definition of success.
Exactly. It's about defining success on our own terms and then creating a roadmap to achieve it.
Yes.
And that roadmap might involve some detours, some unexpected twists and turns, maybe even a few roadblocks along the way.
Sure.
But as long as we keep moving forward, as long as we keep learning and growing,
Yeah.
we're on the right track.
I love that. And it brings us back to that question that Tan poses.
Okay.
What small step can you take today to move closer to your definition of success?
It's a call to action, a reminder that we have the power to shape our own destinies.
We don't have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect circumstances.
Right.
We can start right now, right where we are, with whatever resources we have.
It could be something as simple as making a list of our goals,
Yeah.
reaching out to a mentor, or committing to 15 minutes of focused work on a project.
Exactly.
It's about taking that first step and then another and another until we build momentum and start to see real progress.
Because that's the beauty of the journey. It's not about perfection, it's about progress.
And as long as you're moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time, you're on the path to success.
And who knows, maybe those small steps will lead to incredible transformations you never thought possible.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Success Secrets, I think it's important to remember that the key takeaway here is not about mimicking the exact steps of others.
It's about understanding the underlying principles of success and applying them to your own unique circumstances.
It's about finding what works for you, what resonates with your values, and what inspires you to take action.
Because ultimately, the secret to success is not a secret at all.
It's about mindset strategy and consistent effort, all guided by a clear vision of what you want to achieve.
And I think that's a message we can all take to heart.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into Success Secrets. We've covered a lot of ground, but the conversation doesn't end here. What are your biggest takeaways? What resonated with you most?
We encourage you to continue exploring these ideas, to apply them to your own life, and to share your insights with others.
Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. And by embracing the principles we've discussed today, you can unlock your potential and create a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful.
Thanks for joining us.
You know, as we've been kind of unpacking all these success secrets,
Yeah.
I've been really struck by how much of it just boils down to mindset.
It's true. We've talked about these concrete strategies like the praise formula,
Right.
but a lot of what Tan emphasizes is that inner game.
Yeah, like recognizing those saddles,
Right.
those limiting beliefs and fears that we might not even be aware of,
Absolutely.
and then actively cultivating that invincibility,
Yes.
that unshakable belief in our own potential.
It's like those two forces are constantly at play. You know, that inner critic whispering doubts
Yeah.
and that inner champion urging us forward.
And which voice we choose to listen to ultimately determines our trajectory.
It makes me think of that quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
It's so true.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we believe we're capable of achieving our goals, we're much more likely to put in the effort and persevere through challenges.
But if we're constantly doubting ourselves, we're setting ourselves up for failure before we even begin.
And that's where the importance of encouragement comes in. Having people in our corner who believe in us can make all the difference.
It's like they're holding up a mirror, reflecting back our own potential, even when we can't see it ourselves.
And that can be incredibly empowering, especially when we're struggling with self-doubt.
It reminds me of that story Tan shared about the teacher who called him a strong boy.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a simple gesture, but it had such a profound impact on his life.
Because it planted a seed of belief that he could overcome the challenges he was facing.
And that belief ultimately propelled him to achieve great things.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have the capacity to be that source of encouragement for others.
Yeah.
Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a colleague, our words and actions can make a real difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into success secrets, I think the biggest takeaway for me is the importance of cultivating that inner strength, that resilience, that unwavering belief in ourselves.
And remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey with its ups and downs, its twists and turns.
But as long as we keep learning, growing, and taking those small steps forward, we're on the right path.
And who knows, maybe those small steps will lead to incredible destinations we never thought possible.
So keep diving deep, keep exploring, keep pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, and most importantly, never stop believing in your own potential.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
We'll see you next time.